Black woman, it is time for you to get out of character. What am I talking about? So, listen, there has been a lot of discourse around Jasmine Crockett. All right. She is the U.S. representative for Texas. If you want to know more about her, look her up. All right. So, what is happening is that she is being criticized for her approach. All right. So, many Black people have said that her approach and the way that she responds is perpetuating stereotypes of Black women. Okay. Then there are people that are questioning whether her quote loud approach, her unpoised approach is helping to further the initiatives of the Black community, or if her approach is hurting the Black community. Okay. And you're going to see why. We're going to keep talking because you're going to see why I'm using her as an example. So here's what you need to know, what you already know. Your character, your identity as a Black woman has been covered up and usurped by not just religion, by not just the religious system, but also society. Okay. Black women in their existence, in our existence, in your existence, we have found ourselves attempting to appease two structures that we were never designed to fit inside, and the systems were also not designed to welcome us in anyway. All right. And these systems were actually designed to transcend that. But many of you, even many of you that are watching, don't know that yet. And two things have happened in your life. And I'm speaking from experience here. Number one, you've lived your life attempting to get the approval of people that are attempting to suppress you economically, socially, and spiritually. Okay, we can go on down the line. All right. Using tenets of colonization. Okay. Then, for you to find some relief, the second thing that you've done, you seek that relief inside of a religious system that was also designed to suppress and rob you in the same way, economically, socially, and spiritually. So what does that do? You find yourself caught in this loop of turmoil, okay? And you find yourself living and have lived from an identity and a character. Listen to what I'm saying. A character that was created to somehow survive that loop of going back and forth. Here's a system here that doesn't support you. Here's a system here that you're actually trying to find relief from, the system that doesn't support you, but that system that you're finding relief in backs that system that does not support you. So you're caught in this middle here. All right. And you've created this character that was somehow designed, somehow created to survive that loop. Okay. So instead of this character has been created, right? Instead of you reconnecting with your true identity as the original woman that was designed to transcend all of that. Instead of you reconnecting with that true identity as the original woman, this original woman, you as the original woman, there's no need for you to appease to anyone. Your true essence as the original woman has no need to live from an invented character just to survive. You were not placed here just to survive. You were placed here to survive, or excuse me, to thrive economically, politically, socially, spiritually. You were put here to thrive. That is in your DNA. That is the stock in which you live, but you don't know it yet. You haven't reconnected with that yet because you've been caught in a loop, in an invented character to survive that loop. So I brought up Jasmine Crockett because what is happening is that society has grown accustomed to sending messages to Black women to exist in a certain way, to be accepted. And society has grown accustomed to Black women complying. So I started off this video by saying you need to get out of character. That's the title of this video, Get Out of Character. This is what I'm talking about. No more compliance. Black woman, I'm going to say it again. It is time for you to get out of character. What do I mean? Get out of the character that tells you that you have to act, be, and express yourself in a way so that others don't feel intimidated. Get out of the character that tells you that you have to soften your giant energy, your big energy, your spiritual energy to fit in order to be effective. Get out of the character that tells you that in order to be effective, that in order to create positive change, that you need to be agreeable. I'm going to read you something. And this time, well, again, I'm reading from Mami Wata, Africa's Ancient Gods and Goddesses Unveiled. This is volume 1, written by Mama Zogbe, Vivian Hunter Hindrew. And I'm going to read to you something from the book. It's page 184. So, let's see, okay. The place of African women as the first center of sacerdotal power is not political. She did not usurp her divine providence and authority from anyone. Her place is the manifestation of the original and natural order as willed through the divine logos, responsible for establishing societies, moral law, religious institutions. Now, when you hear that word religious, that does not refer to these systems that we see today that was designed to control people and to put people in the mindset of fear. That's not what that's talking about. And the sacred authority to maintain order on earth. I'm going to read that again. The place of African women as the first center of sacerdotal power is not political. She did not usurp her divine providence and authority from anyone. Her place is the manifestation of the original and natural order, as willed through the divine logos, responsible for establishing human societies, moral law, religious institutions, and the sacred authority to maintain order on earth. Does this sound like a woman who has expressed pure authenticity? That is the identity and the authority and the surety and the confidence that flows in your blood. That's the identity that is in your blood as the original woman. So, what do you do with this information? What do you do with it? Well, ask yourself these questions. I'm going to pose these questions to you. And so the first question is this: where have you complied with something in your life that is not in alignment? Where have you complied with something in your life that is not in alignment? Where have you complied with something in your life that doesn't quite feel right? You can't even quite put your finger on it, but you know something is amiss. But you've complied with it because you want to be agreeable. You don't want to rock the boat. That takes self-awareness. And I always talk about deep breathing. And that's actually something I'm going to read these questions to you, but I'm going to give you this tip before you even go through these questions and answer them. Take 5 minutes and just breathe deeply for 5 minutes intentionally. While you're breathing, put your hand on your chest or put your hand on your diaphragm, actually, and feel your diaphragm filling up with air. Just do that for 5 minutes, then go into answering these questions. That way you can be settled. That way you can allow for the answers to come up because the answers are there. All right. Second question: where in your life are you complying with something or someone because you want to be agreeable or because you don't want to rock the boat? Kind of the same thing that I just said from question number 1. Third question: where in your life are you complying because someone told you it was the proper thing to do or it was the right thing to do? Well, proper for whom and right for whom? Fourth question: where in your life are you complying with a pattern or a strategy because of a tradition or because that pattern is what everyone you know followed? I'm going to repeat that. Where in your life are you complying with a pattern or a strategy because of a tradition or because that pattern is what everyone you know, everyone in your community has followed? Okay? Asking yourself these questions is going to bring you awareness. Okay? With awareness comes alchemy. With alchemy comes the activation of your original essence as the original woman, like I just read. All right? So, before we go, if you have not done this already, I want you to sign up today to Unleashed Alchemy Weekly. When you sign up today, you get access to a complimentary workbook that I created for you that will help you untangle from dogma so that you can unleash your power and be liberated in your essence and be liberated in your expression as the original woman. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. If you are new here and if that sounds liberating to you, you're in the right place. All right, go to unleashedalchemy.com. If you are not subscribed, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what your takeaways are from this episode. All right. And yeah, so until next time, embrace and be in your authority.